I think reading Deutsch across all the different disciplines is very useful. Even when he talks about memes and meme theory, that comes from evolution, but crosses over straight into epistemology and conjecture and criticism. And it reaches far beyond his definition of wealth, the set of physical transformations that you can effect. That takes into account both capital and knowledge. And it clearly shows that knowledge is a bigger component. And then that can be brought into business and applied into your everyday life. It can apply to the wealth of nations and it can apply to the wealth of individuals. So there are a lot of parts that interconnect together. He says that good explanations are hard to vary. So when you look back on a good explanation, you say, well, how could it have been otherwise? This is the only way this thing could have worked. All these different parts fit together and constrain each other in such a way that there's now some emergent property or some complexity or some outcome that you didn't expect, some explanation that neatly explains everything. That doesn't just apply to good explanations. It applies to product development. Good products are hard to vary. Go look at the iPhone, this smooth, perfect, beautiful jewel. The form factor hasn't really changed that much since the original one. It's all around the single screen, the multi-touch, embedding the battery, making it fit into your pocket, making it smooth and sliding in your hand, essentially creating the platonic ideal of the truly personal, pocketable computer. So that product is hard to vary. Both Apple and its competitors have tried to vary it across 16 generations of iPhone, and they haven't been able to materially vary it. They've been able to improve the components and improve some of the underlying capabilities, but materially, the form factor is hard to vary. They designed the right thing. There's the famous saying, I think from Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, where he says, the airplane wing is perfect, not because there's nothing left to add, but because there's nothing left to take away. That airplane wing is hard to vary. When we figure out the proper design of the spacecraft to get to Mars, I will bet you that both at a high level and in the details for quite a long time, that thing will be hard to vary until there's some breakthrough technology. The basic internal combustion engine design was hard to vary until we got batteries good enough, and then we created the electric car, and now the electric car is hard to vary. In fact, there's a complaint now among some designers that in modern society, products and objects are starting to look all the same. Is that because of Instagram? Why is that? Well, at least in the car case, they all look like they've been through a wind tunnel design because that is the most efficient design. The reason they all look swoopy and streamlined is because they're all going through a wind tunnel and they're trying to find the thing that cuts through the air with minimal resistance. And so they do all end up looking the same because that design is hard to vary without losing efficiency. Good writers write with such high density and interconnectedness that their works are fractal in nature. You will meet the knowledge at the level at which you are ready to receive it. And you don't have to understand it all. This is the nature of learning. You read it, you got 20% of it, then you go back through it, you got 25% of it. You listen to one of Brett Hall's podcasts alongside, now you got 28% of it. Now you go to Grok or ChatGPT, you ask it some questions, you dig in on some part, now you got 31% of it. All knowledge is a communication between the author and the observer or the reader. And you both have to be at a certain level to absorb. When you're ready to receive different pieces, you will receive different pieces, but you'll always get something out of it, no matter what level you're at, as long as you can even just communicate and read the language.